If you feel like you're constantly on edge, like you're one small thing away from snapping even on days that were objectively easy, there's a reason for that, and it has almost nothing to do with what actually happened that day. And if you want the full reset that helps insomniacs finally get out of this state, I broke it down step by step in the guide. But even just understanding this usually changes how people see themselves, because it explains why easy days still feel unbearable. Here's the thing most people miss. Your nervous system doesn't measure stress by how busy your calendar was or how many tasks you checked off. It measures stress by whether it ever got a chance to fully stand down, and for a lot of insomniacs, that hasn't happened in a long time. So even when the day looks light on paper, your system is already starting from a depleted, overactivated place. Think about it this way: if you start the day already tense, already tired, already a little wired from bad sleep, then everything lands heavier. A normal conversation feels draining. A small decision feels overwhelming. A minor inconvenience feels like the last straw. Not because the situation is intense, but because your system is running with no buffer. This is where people usually blame themselves. They think, why am I like this? Other people had the same day and they're fine. But what they're comparing is the surface, not the baseline. If your baseline nervous system state is already close to the red, even a gentle push tips you over. It's not weakness, it's physics. Insomnia plays a massive role here because sleep is when your nervous system is supposed to reset its stress hormones, calm down threat detection, and rebuild capacity. When that doesn't happen, night after night, your system never fully returns to neutral. It just keeps stacking tension. You wake up already slightly activated, and then you spend the whole day managing that state without realizing it. That's why light days don't help. You're not recovering from the day itself, you're carrying weeks, months, sometimes years of unresolved activation. Your body isn't reacting to today. It's reacting to the fact that it never got a real chance to come down yesterday, or the night before, or the night before that. Another thing people don't realize is how much effort goes into appearing fine when you're dysregulated. You're holding your reactions in. You're staying polite. You're pushing through. You're keeping yourself together. That constant self-control costs energy. So even if nothing dramatic happens, your system still feels like it ran a marathon. And then there's the mental side. When your nervous system is stuck in alert mode, your brain is constantly scanning. Not for obvious danger, but for potential problems. It's anticipating, predicting, preparing. That background processing never shuts off. So even when you're relaxing, part of you is still working. That's exhausting, and most people don't even notice it until they're already at the limit. This is why telling yourself to just relax doesn't work. You can't relax a system that doesn't feel safe enough to let go. And safety, in this context, isn't about logic. You can know intellectually that nothing bad is happening and still feel wired, tense, and irritable. The nervous system doesn't respond to reasoning. It responds to patterns. For insomniacs, the pattern is usually this: poor sleep leads to higher baseline stress. Higher baseline stress makes days feel heavier. Heavier days make it harder to wind down, and harder wind downs lead to worse sleep. Over time, that loop trains your system to live near the edge by default. The frustrating part is that from the outside, it looks like you're overreacting. From the inside, it feels like you're barely holding it together. And the truth is, you are holding it together, but at a cost your body can't keep paying forever. This is also why weekends don't fix it. You can have 2 days with fewer obligations and still feel fried, because what you actually need isn't less doing. You need your nervous system to experience real downshifting. And that doesn't happen automatically just because work stops. It happens when the system learns, again and again, that it's safe to stand down. That's why the solution isn't motivation, better time management, or trying to be more chill. The solution is teaching your nervous system how to complete stress cycles and fully exit alert mode, especially at night. This is something I go into in detail in the guide, because most people were never taught how to do this, and modern life actively trains the opposite. When people start doing this properly, the change is subtle but powerful. They don't suddenly become zen. They just stop living at the edge. Small things stop feeling catastrophic. Even busy days feel more manageable because they're not starting from zero. There's room to breathe again. If you're constantly on the brink even when life seems calm, that's not a character flaw. That's a system that hasn't had a real reset in a long time. Once you address that, especially through sleep and nervous system regulation, the world doesn't magically get easier. You just finally have the capacity to meet it without feeling like you're about to break. And if this description feels painfully accurate, that's not coincidence. It's one of the most common patterns I see in people who haven't slept deeply in a long time. It's understandable, it's fixable, and it doesn't require you to become someone else. It just requires giving your nervous system what it's been missing.